It's Monica Dubay. I'm doing lesson 77 of the Course in Miracles. It's I am entitled to miracles. Thank you for being here. Take a deep breath, come into your heart and just let go. Okay? Just let go for a second. Get out of your head. I'm going to let this light energy flow through you as we do this lesson. I am entitled to miracles. You are entitled to miracles because of what you are. You will receive miracles because of what God is. And you will offer miracles because you are one with God. That's it. How simple. Again, it says that. How simple is salvation? Right? It's a statement of your true identity. It's a statement of the truth of you. You're entitled to miracles because you're the Holy Son of God himself. You could not suffer. You cannot be in pain. And I know if you're experiencing pain or suffering, that might really confront you. It's supposed to. This message is supposed to confront you in your littleness, in your fearful state, okay? And we're going to celebrate this today. This is a statement of your true identity. I am entitled to miracles. I have every right to have miracles in my life. In fact, I can create miracles if I choose to see things differently, which is all the Course ever gets you to do, is see things differently. Give up your grievances, give up your attack thoughts, give up your loneliness, give up your suffering, give up where you're holding back. And I got to tap my throat because when I start to speak, all the resistance to speaking comes up, right? I mean, I struggle with this. It's not something I feel like, oh yeah, let's just go on and do a video. No, I have to generate myself to do this because I have those thoughts all the time. You know, why should I do this? I don't know if I have the energy. I think maybe I need coffee. But the truth of it is, that's the confrontation with the limited, really small self. Okay. That's what this does. It confronts your limitations. So your claim to miracles does not lie in your illusions about yourself, right? Your illusions about yourself, they don't do anything. They're just illusions, but they can keep you playing small. They can keep you stuck when you want to be free. Okay. Now, it does not depend on any magical powers or that you have ascribed to yourself, nor on any rituals you have devised. It is inherent in the truth of what you are. It's implicit in what God your Father is: love, peace, joy, happiness, and freedom. It was ensured in your creation and guaranteed by the laws of God. Guaranteed. Your healing is guaranteed. It's totally guaranteed by God. So today, healing and miracles, I think, are the same, right? They're healing of your thoughts. And that affects your body. It affects everything. It affects your finances. It affects people you talk to. It affects your relationships. It affects everything because you are the one causing all of it. You're responsible for it. This is going to take you out of victim, out of littleness, out of playing small. And I know that's a very tempting place to be in it. And it is very tempting to stay in that little small place because it's familiar. We're used to it. And yet it doesn't bring us joy. Really. It doesn't bring you joy. It doesn't bring you what you really want deep down. Freedom and happiness. Okay. So you've been given the correction for all your mistakes in this lesson. Right? Because miracles are the corrections. That's it. They correct your mind. You have been promised full release from the world you made up, the one that's going on in here that you're projecting out and seeing out there, but it's actually not there. Remember lesson 7? I'm seeing only the past. Lesson 6, I'm upset because I see something that's not there because it's in the past, but I'm trying to make it real. I'm trying to hang on to it. It's gone. It's gone. Let it be gone. Because your thoughts about the past don't mean anything anymore. They're gone. Literally. It's in the past. It's gone. So accept that you keep regurgitating it, right? You keep focusing on, oh, I remember that moment. Oh, this guy did this to me. Oh, that happened when I was a kid. And Yes, those are your stories and nothing wrong. I mean, you've got to look at those. But here we go. Let miracles replace these grievances, because I promise you, if they're causing you pain, they're grievances. They're grievances that you want to hang on to out of temptation to stay small and constrained. That's what the ego mind wants for you. That's this mind, right? It's the little mind. Such little minds. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know who you are. You're stuck in a concept of yourself. It's not even real, but you think it is. I get it. I'm there too, believe me. So today we claim the miracles that are your right since they belong to you. That's why I do this course, because I need it. Of course I do. Think I struggle with this? I don't struggle with this still? Yeah, I do. Sometimes I do. If I forget to pick this up, my ego thoughts will start to take over. Absolutely. That's the nature of the human being. It's a constant machinery kind of mind that will just keep going if you don't disrupt it and choose to live in a different way, not listening to that. Seeing it, noticing it, embracing it. Don't push it away. Embracing it as part of you. Oh, there I go again. Oh, well, I am entitled to miracles. Now I choose a miracle for myself. Okay. And some days it takes a lot to get me to do this. And I'm going to do it today because it's time. I said yes. Right. Often it's just, yeah, I said yes. So here I am showing up. Okay. So thanks for showing up. Really. Just listening to this lesson will change your life if you let it. I promise you. You have been promised full release from the world you made. You have full release. You have been assured that the kingdom of God is within you. Yeah. And can never be lost. When you feel lost, it's because you're outside the kingdom, because you're feeling the sense of being separate. That's all we're ever doing is healing that separation. Right? I did that lesson yesterday. Let me recognize my problem has been solved. Right? Because the only problem is separation. And so we get to do this. You've been assured the kingdom of God is within you. It can never be lost. So we often ask no more than what belongs to us in truth. I wanted to hear this over and over and over. I never got tired of hearing this. I wanted to hear it every day for hours and hours because I never got tired of it. It was like it was giving me peace and joy and freedom from my mind, from my depression, from my anxiety, from my bitterness, from my grief, from sadness, from guilt, suffering, shame, all of that. It gave me the answer and the way out of it. So I listened to it all day long. Yeah. And spoke it and started teaching because I was asked to. And I'm so glad because teaching and learning are the same. I'm only teaching myself, right? Because there really is only me. I'm one with everything. I'm one with you. There is only me. I'm teaching myself. Nothing I'd rather do. So today, however, we'll also make sure that we will not content ourselves with less than what belongs to us in truth. The whole kingdom belongs to you in truth. And you have the right to that kingdom. You are given the keys. I'm giving you the keys right now to the kingdom. Truly. Begin the longer practice periods by telling yourself quite confidently that you are entitled to miracles. I am entitled to miracles. I am entitled to miracles. Just say it all day long. See what happens. Closing your eyes, remind yourself that you're asking only for what is rightfully yours. Remind yourself that also that miracles are never taken from one and given to another. That doesn't make any sense. And that in asking for your rights, you're upholding the rights of everyone. Because this is for everyone, right? This isn't just for you. It's for everyone. Miracles do not obey the laws of this world. They don't obey the laws of reciprocity. They don't. They merely follow from the laws of God. Oneness, wholeness, peace, joy, freedom. Okay, the laws of God establish your sovereign power, your recognition of who you are as a sovereign being. You get to be that in the world. Right? In the world, not of it. That's you. They merely follow from these laws of God, justice. Love is justice. Forgiveness gets you there. right? Forgiveness gets you there. Letting go of grievances, letting go of the judgment of the self, letting go of thinking that money is going to save you, letting go of thinking that it has to be different for you to be happy, letting go of those thoughts that keep you bound to a world of suffering. Yay! Isn't that great? It's great news, right? So after this brief introductory phase, wait quietly for the assurance that your request is granted. Your request has been granted. Your wish is granted. What did you wish for? I hope you wish for eternal happiness, because that's the only thing worth wishing for, isn't it? Here we go. You have asked for the salvation of the world and for your own. Yeah, happiness, joy. You have requested that you receive the means by which this is accomplished. You cannot fail to be assured in this. You are but asking that the will of God be done. The will of God is what? Perfect happiness. God's will is perfect happiness for everyone. I know you don't feel this all the time. Of course you don't. I don't either. You know, the ego comes up and it's like, ah! Right in the middle of your so-called, happy life. And things fall apart. Your life falls apart. You lose money, maybe you have a breakup. Someone dies. I mean, this is human life, right? So in the midst of this chaos comes this teaching. And the teachers of God want to actually do something about this. Take a deep breath. I don't mean to yell. I'm feeling like I'm having to put a lot more energy into this today because there's a lot of heavy energies in the world right now. And it's just an intense time. No problem. That's what we're dealing with. We're a warrior. We're warriors for light. And we deal with the darkness sometimes. We have to deal with the darkness. We have to deal with it. There it is. Oh, guess what? It's going on in me. And I have the right to have a miracle instead of that today, right now. Not tomorrow, right now, because there is no tomorrow. Time is not sequencing. All right. So in doing this, you do not really ask for anything. You do not really ask for anything. Amazing. You state a fact that cannot be denied. The Holy Spirit cannot but assure you that your request is granted. The fact that you accepted must be so. There is no room for doubt. Give up doubt. Give up the cynical and resigned way of being, which a lot of us, I see a lot of humans there, cynical and resigned and complaining about politics and complaining about the people that run the world and all that. And it's really, really crazy because after a while, you just have to let go of thinking that, that's your world. It's not my world. I want the world of God. I live in the world of God and peace. And when I'm not at peace, I do something about it. I don't blame someone else. Nope. Guess why? It doesn't work. They're not responsible for how I feel. They're not responsible for my judgments. They're not responsible for how I see everything. I am. I'm responsible for how I see everything. And what I want is up to me, right? God can't save you from what you want. You want to make everybody wrong? Guess what? You're going to live in a right, wrong world. Not that much fun. I'm offering you another alternative here. The Course offers you something completely different from that. And if you want that, great. You're not going to listen to me. Fine. I'm not for everybody, that's for sure. I'm only for those people who really want to be free and are willing to accept responsibility for what you see and what you experience. It's not blame, though. We're not blaming you. There's no judgment in it. It's just the recognition. It's a fact that you're responsible for what you see. It's a fact that cause and effect are not apart. It's a fact that God is love. And that's what you are. That's a fact. You can deny it and push up against it and say, no, yeah, right. I did that for a while. Sure, I did. Got really depressed doing that. thinking the world had to change for me to be happy. Yikes. So the answer is a simple statement of a simple fact. You will receive the assurance that you seek. Here's a statement of a simple fact. I am entitled to miracles. I am what love is. I am the abundance of the universe. I am the Holy Son of God himself. I am entitled to miracles. I am not a body. I am free. I am not a body. I am free. Mm-hmm. So ask for, and I'm not saying you don't have a body. Of course you do. Take care of it. Be good to it. It's an extension of you. It's a communication device. It helps you to talk to people. It helps me to do videos like this, bring my light into the world. That's what it's for. That's really what it's for. When you get on this track, that's all it's for. Communicating. Love is communication. God is love. It's all part of the same thing. It's communicating, sharing, loving, giving, standing up for people, standing out, reaching out, being willing to be the one. Right? You see the matrix? Be the one that accepts your perfection, your wholeness, and your sovereign power. To see the illusion for what it is and say, just illusion. No, thank you. I'm entitled to miracles today. So ask for them whenever a situation arises in which they're called for. Pretty much all the time, right? You'll recognize these situations. Oh, yeah. There's situations where you get upset. That's all. There's situations where you wish it could be different. You keep praying for something else to happen and it's not happening. But it's because you're not doing it. You're not creating it yourself. That's the rub. You're not creating that forgiveness. You're not reaching out to that person and saying, I'm sorry. So you're still living in the grievance and the resentment and really blaming someone else for your unhappiness. It just doesn't work. It's just silly. So ask for these miracles whenever a situation arises in which they're called for. Since you're not relying on yourself to find miracles, you are therefore fully entitled to receive them whenever you ask. You don't have to go looking for them. Just ask for them. Ask to receive them. Remember, too, not to be satisfied with less than the perfect answer. Be quick to tell yourself should you be tempted. I will not trade miracles for grievances. I will not trade miracles for grievances. I want only what belongs to me. Only what belongs to me. God has established miracles as my right, my birthright. And what does that really mean? So God has established miracles as my birthright, as my right, as the Son of God, as the Holy Son of God himself. I have a right to miracles happening all the time. I have a right to things working out. And things getting better and better and going up and up and up. Yeah, even when it feels like they're going down and down and down. That's a moment where the rubber meets the road, where you have to lean into it, embrace it. Don't fight it. Love that moment, even when it's hard. It's going to be hard. I promise you, it's going to be difficult until you learn to ask for a miracle. Okay, I see that I'm in pain here. I see that I'm worried about money. I see that I'm worried about my mom. I see that I miss my kids. I see that blah, 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 blah. This is what's happening, right? I know what it's like. I went through a custody battle for kids and it was rough and it brought me to my knees. It still does, even though they're grown and they're beautiful and they're doing great. It's the memory of it that comes up. When I had loss of power. I couldn't solve the problem, right? It just happened the way it happened. And in the end, it was the right thing, but I did not see it at the time. I was really angry, bitter, and wanted to kill someone. Really. I just couldn't believe this was happening. That's the ego, though. It's always got a grip on something. It's got you. It's gripped you in a past moment, which you may have. It may be trauma. It could be. You need to get some help with that, okay? And that trauma has to be healed. It has to be forgiven. but you don't know how to do it yourself. You need support with that. That's what I do that a lot, but I just really get it. Find a trauma therapist, find someone who gets how to take you through those moments where that happened and then come out the other side like it's done. Okay. And there are fast ways to do that. That's the miracle. The miracles keep happening because we are willing to see it differently. We're willing to go for it. I'm willing to put everything on the line, to tell the truth. I struggled with depression. Yeah, I sometimes still do. I struggle with anxiety. Yep, sometimes I still do. It comes up in my consciousness as a default to be anxious. It's a default mechanism. But I have tools, right, to release the anxiety, tapping, the Course in Miracles, Byron Katie's work, the power of now, being in the present, meditation, going deep inside. I like meditation with the Course because it gives something my mind to hang on to. So I'm not just watching thoughts, I'm releasing thoughts. And that could be happening for anyone. But what I'm saying, for me, it works to go through these lessons as meditations. I'm entitled to miracles. I will not trade miracles for grievances. I want only what belongs to me. These things you can say to yourself all day long. These are mantras. If you let them be, these are mantras that mean what they mean, right? I will not trade miracles for grievances. In other words, I'm willing to give it up. What's the thing you just really can't let go of? What's the thing that keeps you so locked in judgment of yourself? Maybe it's what someone else did to you, but you still judge yourself for it because you can't let it go. And you think you should let it go, but you can't let it go. And then you're in this conundrum. That's where you need to really look. Because your mind's very smart and it's very powerful. All right, I see that I'm holding on to that and it's really heavy. I got it in my hand, right? Like a bag of rocks I'm holding on to. These grievances I have with this person. Oh my God, my whole life I've been holding on to that. Hold on to it. Hold on to it. Let it feel heavy. This will work, I promise. Let it feel really heavy. Oh, I've been holding on to this burden that I'm supposed to save this person, or they're supposed to save me, or whatever it is. They should have treated me better. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever it is, just be with that person right now in your mind. And now, on the count of 3, we're going to drop the grievance. Ready? 1. You gotta be willing. Are you willing? I hope so. 1, 2, 3. Drop it. Open your third eye a little and begin to see light around that person. Begin to see light around them. Oh, I was seeing you through my limited self. Now I see you for who you really are, through my awakened mind. Yeah, it's up to you to do that for everyone in your life. You can send them love and they'll learn to let go. Miracles happen like that, and one miracle can heal thousands, legions upon legions. Every time you release something, it affects the entire world. I promise you, that's the plan of the atonement. Isn't that great? I hope this supports you today. Now listen, just bring in this peace now. Listen to the peace in your heart now. I don't have to hang on to that anymore. I don't have to let it wake me up at 3 a.m. anymore. I don't have to wake up in anger, right? Or I don't have to have anger at all toward that person or toward anyone. And a lot of it is with yourself. This doesn't feel too good. Help me to see this differently. Help me to see, I want to feel happiness today. This doesn't feel like happiness. Help me to see it differently. I'm entitled to miracles. Let this be a miracle for me today. Let this be a miracle that I have let go of this grievance with that person. It is a miracle. Now you've got to embrace it. Let it be. You're free. Do you feel it? I feel lighter already. Yeah, the light just came in to help us do that. You can always call in more light. Okay, you want to call in more light? Call in more light right now. Higher frequency, please. Amp it up. Amp it up. Amp it up. Let it come up. Even more. Open your arms to receive. I've been doing a lot of Kundalini yoga lately. Open up to receive. The light is coming in. It's coming down through your whole body right now and down into the earth. Just send it down through. Let go. Tell yourself, I will not trade miracles for grievances. I want only what belongs to me. God has established miracles as my right. And then say it to the person there. God has established miracles as your right. I want only happiness for you. I want only what belongs to you. This miracle belongs to you, my brother, sister. Don't forget to keep extending it out to people. That's how it keeps going. That's the plan of the At-One-Man. It works that way. So glad I did this lesson today. I feel so much better. And my throat, even though it feels a little tense still, it always does when I start to speak. It's not really tense. It's just a little bit like, well, there's some pebbles and gravel in there. And I work it out every time I do a lesson and teach this. It's all working itself out. Thank you, God. You have every right to be happy. You have every right to be at peace. You have every right to have a miraculous life. That's what you're here for. That's how we ascend into the fifth and higher dimensions. We let go of third dimension, of the right, wrong world, of the good and evil, and we embrace the good. God didn't create evil. We made it up. Tried to play God. Yeah, it didn't work so well. Still doesn't. So allow and let God be God. Let God heal you. Let your higher power come in and really release you today. I love you. Is that all there is today? Yeah. I could go on and on. I'm going to let this be right now. This is lesson 77. I am entitled to miracles. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.